of Graduates is led by E.F. Charles LaBerge, Students Marshal and recipient of the 2025 Presidential Teaching Professor Award. He is Professor of the Practice in the Department of Computer Science and Electrical Engineering. The faculty and staff procession is led by Staff Marshals Amy Wolf, recipient of the 2025 Presidential Distinguished Exempt Staff Award, and Farzana Islam, recipient of the 2025 Presidential Distinguished Non-Exempt Staff Award. The faculty and staff marshals are carrying batons that the UMBC Alumni Association presented to the university in honor of our 40th anniversary in 2006. The platform party is led by the Grand Marshal, Nancy Kuzmal, President of the Faculty Senate and Professor in Social Work. The Grand Marshal carries the University Mace, a symbol of presidential authority. Used only on formal academic occasions, UMBC's mace was commissioned by the Alumni Association for UMBC's 20th anniversary in 1986.
The 85th commencement exercises of the University of Maryland, Baltimore County will now be in order. Please remain standing for our national anthem, performed by Justin Whitmore. Justin is a senior vocal performance major graduating today. His performance will be accompanied by a presentation of the colors by UMBC's Naval ROTC program. Please remain standing, if you are able, throughout the anthem and until the colors have been retired.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Justin. That was a wonderful rendition. And thank you to the students in NROTC and the members of our brass quintet who provided our processional music. Everyone, please be seated. As we welcome you to UMBC, we wish to acknowledge that UMBC was established upon the land of the Piscataway and Susquehannock peoples. Over time, citizens of many more indigenous nations have come to reside in this region. We humbly offer our respects to all past, present, and future indigenous people connected to this place. Now, I am pleased to introduce the 6th president of UMBC, Dr. Valerie Shears Ashby.
Good morning. Good morning. Oh, that's a good one. Good morning. On behalf of our entire community, it is my pleasure to welcome you to the 85th commencement of the University of Maryland, Baltimore County. In addition to this morning's undergraduate exercises, we awarded master's and doctoral degrees in a separate ceremony yesterday. To the families and friends of our graduates, we are delighted that you have joined us this morning from near and far to honor and celebrate these outstanding students. I also want to welcome graduating students, family members, and friends who are joining us online. Thank you for being a part of today's ceremony. Thank you as well to our faculty and staff colleagues who are in the audience, and to my fellow campus leaders who are with us today. On the platform are the deans of the colleges and schools, administrative leaders from across our campus, presidents of our shared governance groups, members of the Commencement Executive Committee, and recipients of our Presidential Faculty and Staff Awards. Thank you all for everything that you do. And finally, graduates, I want you to join me this morning in a tradition. Help me to thank your families and friends who have joined us today, and also all of the faculty and staff who have supported you along this journey. Graduates, if you are able, please stand and let's give all of your supporters a round of applause. Thank you so much. You may be seated. Graduates and families, today is your day, and I know I do not have to tell you how special it is. What I can tell you on a personal note is that this never gets old for me. My colleagues and I delight in seeing each class of undergraduates fulfill the promise we saw in you when we invited you to join us here at UMBC. And so today we honor and celebrate you. And now I am pleased to share a video greeting from Regent Linda Gooden, Chair of the University System of Maryland Board of Regents.
Greetings. On behalf of the University System of Maryland, let me say congratulations to the graduates we honor today. I know that the path to this milestone has been long and at times difficult. It is a journey that has tested you and strengthened you, and it ultimately defines you, each of you, as individuals who understand the power of education and who are willing to invest in themselves. I congratulate you on making that investment. I also want to acknowledge your family and friends, both those who are with you today and those who are here in spirit. I know they take pride in what you have accomplished. They have shared in your sacrifice and certainly should share in your success today. The knowledge and experience that you received here, that you have earned here, are yours forever. And as you go forward, take what you've learned and pledge to use it for good. Give back to the community and the world. Build a brighter future for yourselves and others. And so once again, I offer each and every one of you a well-deserved congratulations, and I wish you all the best in the years to come.
Thank you to Regent Gooden. We certainly appreciate the support of the Board of Regents. Now it is my pleasure to introduce Manfred Van Doelman, UMBC's Provost and Senior Vice President of Academic Affairs. Provost Van Doelman joined the UMBC community in July of 2024 after spending more than 2 decades in higher education and leadership. He holds a PhD in Family Social Science from the University of Minnesota, and his research interests include adolescent and young adult relationships and experiences. Please join me in welcoming Provost Van Doelman.
Thank you, President Shears Ashby, and good morning, class of 2025. Congratulations, you did it. Can we hear? Yes, we can clap. I am proud of each and every one of you. Earning your degree is a tremendous accomplishment, and your hard work, resilience, and determination have not gone unnoticed. Today, we honor undergraduate students who now join the powerful ranks of more than 100,000 UMBC alumni. Alumni who are leading, serving, and driving change here in Baltimore, across Maryland, and around the globe. Each of you have a unique journey, a personal narrative, and a meaningful connection to UMBC. And it's through these individual paths that our collective strength as a university shines. At UMBC, inclusive excellence is not just a value, it is our compass. It shapes our teaching, our research, our community partnerships, and most importantly, our people. This morning, I want to take a moment to reflect on you, the class of 2025. You are achievers, but even more than that, you are trailblazers. You represent the strength of UMBC's academic mission and the promise of its future. The class of 2025 is a vibrant and diverse community. You are a global class for a global future. And while today we celebrate your accomplishments, I want to ask you to pause and reflect on the path that brought you here. Some of you may have arrived at this moment on a straight, well-planned road. Others may have faced twists, turns, and unexpected detours. But regardless of the path, each of you has arrived. And it's not just the destination, but the journey that matters. The lessons learned, the strength discovered, the relationships formed, and the growth achieved along the way. This degree, your degree, is more than a credential. It is a reflection of who you are, what you've overcome, and who you are becoming. Over the past 18 months, I've had the privilege of meeting many UMBC alumni. Remarkable individuals who are curing diseases, engineering smarter cities, shaping policy, advancing justice, and lifting up communities across the globe. You now join their ranks. And so graduates, as you celebrate today, and I hope you do celebrate, I want to leave you with this charge. Go forward as agents of inclusive excellence. Lead with empathy, create with courage, serve with purpose, seek out voices different from your own, build spaces where everyone belongs. Let the values that you lived here at UMBC guide you as you shape a more just, more inclusive, and more hopeful world. You are ready. UMBC has prepared you well, and you are the future we have been waiting for. Congratulations, class of 2025, and as always, go Retrievers. It is now with great delight that I introduce our commencement speaker, Dr. Christine Mallinson. Dr. Mallinson is a renowned scholar of language and society, serving as a professor of language, literacy, and culture, and affiliate professor of gender and women's studies. Additionally, she is the Assistant Vice President for Research and Scholarly Impact in the Division of Research and Creative Achievement at UMBC. Dr. Mallison's research applies interdisciplinary knowledge to address bias, misinformation, and social inequality, promote and sustain linguistic diversity, and advance cultural, linguistic, and educational equity and inclusion. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Mallinson.
Good morning. Thank you so much for the opportunity to be here today. To all of our graduates, it's such a joy and an honor to stand with you and share this milestone moment. Commencement is a moment of transition. It's the moment when you take a breath before your next big leap, when new opportunities begin and come into focus, and new questions start shaping your path ahead. Here at UMBC, I'm professor in our Language, Literacy, and Culture program. I also have the honor of serving as Assistant Vice President for Research and Scholarly Impact. Each of you will forge your own path, and I hope yours will be just as challenging and rewarding as my own journey has been. In my career, studying language has helped me make sense of the world. And today, through the language of this speech, in this moment, I want to take the opportunity to share some reflections that I hope might inspire you as you move forward. In this world that you are stepping into, language and communication will be at the core. They will shape every interaction, every decision, every possibility. Whenever we speak or sign, text or write, language is how we pass along wisdom, how we answer deep questions, how we learn, how we bridge misunderstandings, and how we build real connection. To put it simply, language is profoundly human. In a world that often feels fractured, it is one of the strongest forces that we have to bring people together. I'm a sociolinguist, someone who studies how people use language and how language reflects identity, culture, and society. Long before I knew the word linguist, I started asking the questions that would eventually lead me to this career. I was always fascinated by language. I grew up in North Carolina, where words like y'all and the Southern accents that surrounded me felt like home. My parents were from the North, however. My mom grew up in New York, my dad grew up in Pennsylvania. And when we visited family members in those places, I noticed markers of their speech that were different from my own, and I turned over those pronunciations in my mind's ear. Meanwhile, my grandparents were immigrants from Germany who came to this country with less than a high school education. I learned to count and sing in German as early as I did in English, which opened the door to my fascination with languages around the world. I didn't know it then, but by listening closely and noticing how people communicate, I was already starting to do the work that I would one day build a career around. But as my understanding deepened, I also realized that there were some important contradictions that I also needed to understand. Those Southern accents that surrounded me in my childhood and felt like home, those were also the very same accents that I saw being mocked in movies and on TV as being unintelligent or dumb. If people around me spoke that way, and I did too, what did that say about how society assigns value to people? And while I loved the fact that my grandparents spoke another language, I would also tense up whenever we were in public and I heard them make small grammatical errors in English because I was worried that other people would judge them. That's where equity entered the picture for me. Why are some people judged more on how they say something than on what they say? In college and in graduate school, I found the fields of study that gave me the tools to answer those questions. I gravitated to linguistics, but just as importantly to sociology, anthropology, and cultural studies. The pieces that resonated most with me, language, culture, identity, opportunity, and inequality, those became the threads that pulled me forward along my path. The path didn't reveal itself all at once. Instead, as will likely be the case for you, I found it in pieces, through people, places, languages, experiences that shaped my thinking and, over time, shaped my journey. Today, we are living in a time of extraordinary technological possibility. Computers can now generate speech so realistic that it can fool the human ear. Apps can clone a person's voice in seconds. On the one hand, language is definingly human. Yet on the other hand, that authenticity is increasingly being challenged. In some of my research with colleagues here at UMBC, we've investigated synthetic voices and fake audio. Our interdisciplinary team has asked, can understanding real language help us detect what is fake? But beyond our important research questions, however, what resonates most with me in doing this work is that it reaffirms the power of human communication. Yes, computers can be trained to mimic voices, but they cannot and should not replace the human capacity for communication and dialogue, for empathy and understanding, for authenticity and real connection. In our present world, human communication matters more than ever. As you step into the next stage of your journey, into this complex, technology-driven, and rapidly changing world, I want to challenge you to be an advocate for the irreplaceable value of human communication. Whatever your field, coding, teaching, designing, researching, performing, advocating, find the human story at the center. Build systems and policies that are inclusive and accessible, that welcome different ways of talking and different ways of being and knowing. Use your language, one of the most powerful tools that you possess, to build community and to challenge bias and inequality. And finally, be yourself. Remember, there is no single way to sound intelligent, no universal definition of articulate or professional. Carry your linguistic personality and your linguistic heritage with pride. It is part of the richness that you bring to this world. You all are thinkers, innovators, problem solvers, and community builders. You are fully prepared to help build a world that is more just, more curious, more connected, and more humane. I hope that you will go forward knowing that you matter, that your voice matters, and that you will use it to do great things. Congratulations, class of 2025.
Thank you, Dr. Mallinson. Let's give her another round of applause. We appreciate your inspiring remarks, and we're delighted to have you here with us today. I now ask Provost Van Doelman to join me in the conferring of the degrees.
Thank you, President Shears Ashby. We will now move to the part of the program when we confer the awarding of the earned bachelor's degrees. Today, each graduate will receive a memento from the UMBC Alumni Association. Representing the Alumni Association Board of Directors is Board President, Mr. Nate Dismeyer. He graduated from UMBC in 2007 with a bachelor's degree in Information Systems and received his MS MBA from UMGC. He is currently a program manager with Galapagos Federal Systems. Please join me in thanking Nate for his support of UMBC. Now, graduates, please stand if you are able. President Shears Ashby, I have the honor of presenting the candidates recommended by the faculty of the University of Maryland, Baltimore County, for the degrees of Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Fine Arts, and Bachelor of Science.
Graduates, upon the recommendation of the faculty and by the authority of the State of Maryland given to the Board of Regents and the Chancellor of the University System of Maryland, and by them entrusted to me, I hereby admit you to the degrees which you have earned during your course of studies at the University of Maryland, Baltimore County, in token whereof you shall be given a diploma with all of the honors, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto pertaining. Congratulations.
Thank you all. Graduates, please be seated until directed by a commencement staff member. I now call upon John Stoll McAllister, Interim Dean of the College of the Arts, Humanities, and Social Sciences. I would also like to invite Eli Gendelman, President of the Student Government Association, to assist in congratulating students as they cross the stage.
President Shears Ashby, Provost Van Delmen, I have the honor of welcoming the inquisitive, creative, and committed students from the College of Arts, Humanities, and Social Sciences who have completed all requirements for the degrees of Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Fine Arts, and Bachelor of Sciences. Can we please give them a hand?
Bachelor's candidates in the College of Arts, Humanities, and Social Sciences. We now present the graduates in Ancient Studies. Julia Katazina Labuda, magna cum laude. We now present the graduates in Asian Studies. Chase Coulson, summa cum laude. We now present the graduates in Dance. Teresa Kearney. We now present the graduates in Economics. Daisy Annan. Gabrielle Alexandre da Rocha. Timur Spartakovich Basinov. Gabriela Miguel Serna, cum laude. Malika Bianca Dang. Daniel Fernald. Azaria Joelle Harris. Roshana H. Jackson. Kirthi Kiran Ketha. Michael Robert Kirby, cum laude. Nicole Alexandra Lopez. Joshua Marothi Deritu. Hamida Nuhanovic. Natalia Pinette, cum laude. Joseph M. Roman. Talon Christian Blaze Schroeder. Timothy James Shia. Michael Van Aldridge. We now present the graduates in English. Puru Chaturvedi. Shekinah J. Mondua. Jessica Wynn. Caroline Elizabeth Orndorff, magna cum laude. Madeline L. Rowe, summa cum laude. Peter Tomlin, magna cum laude. Emily Cecilia Trentelance, magna cum laude. We now present the graduates in Gender, Women's, and Sexuality Studies. Tiffany Iris Watson. We now present the graduates in Geography and Environmental Systems. Feben Christina Abi. Kayla Chantel Alvarez. Riley John Cole, cum laude. Benjamin Craig Dorman. Jessica Amanda Fields. Paige Emily Fullerton, summa cum laude. Colin Patrick Gillen. Jonah James Gillespie. Liana G. Grosco. Jaden Johnson. Joseph M. Lyosa. Adibimpe Alice Adepoju. Wuraula Abibatu Ayonrinde. Salim Samura. Matthew Raymond Lotier. Maya Angela Gwola McLaughy. Tyson Wesley Mees. Connor M. Medinger. Lila O'Connor, magna cum laude. Jeffrey W. Spafford. Neil E. Taylor, cum laude. Delia Teeter, summa cum laude. Trey D. Vendries. We now present the graduates in Global Studies. Miguel Moran. Benjamin Natividad. We now present the graduates in History. Felipe Taylor Gonzalez Carg, summa cum laude. Robert Wyatt Molden. Asim Mustafa Muhammad. Daniel Lorenzo Syons. Andrew David Simon. Aidan Taylor, magna cum laude. Ibrahim Beg. Tahsin Chowdhury. Brian Kang Dang. Kyle DeMario, cum laude. Samantha Escobar. Wesley Seth Dixon Abraham. Gerald Ian Fitzpatrick, cum laude. Jacob Flores. Thomas C.O. Flourish. Ifekimelum Alexis M. Ba, cum laude. Rex Alice Mills Snyder. Hanbal Yusuf Munir. Bailey Ray Seabolt Wilbanks, summa cum laude. Morgan Tay Seabolt Wilbanks, summa cum laude. Aidan Charles Sloan. Tree Delonta Thomas. Sean Stephen Tilden. Medwin Shadrach Memsekalili. We now present the graduates in Modern Languages, Linguistics, and Intercultural Communication. Cam Cooper, cum laude. Rory Douglas Braben Kashim. Aidan James Hunter, cum laude. William Moe. Elizabeth Grace Todorov. Elliot Nico Wright, magna cum laude. We now present the graduates in music. Ruben Francis Jimenez Aquino. Jaquana Monet Bond. Chase Elijah Randall Cox, magna cum laude. Carice Amani Grant. Justin Kenneth Whitmore, magna cum laude. Grace Kang. Valeris Lingham. We now present the graduates in philosophy. Oliver Orange Bobbitt. Vanya Khan. Alina Waintz. We now present the graduates in political science. Salma Abushi. Rishima Agarwal, summa cum laude. Ariba Aslam. Darmini Nandwani Carrillo, cum laude. Natalia Evita Cooper, cum laude. Colin Powell. Ashley Fernandez, magna cum laude. Ryan Evan Holm, magna cum laude. Suhaib Mirza. Ann Mutombo. Samuel Nason. Nicholas Joseph Olzar, summa cum laude. Amaria Terrell Patterson. Nicole Michelle Schiff. Abba Shrestha, cum laude. Sofia E. Vallejo, cum laude. We now present the graduates in psychology. Mahmoud Abdel Halim. Rodney Anthony. Isabella M. Ardila. Haley Marie Ashton, magna cum laude. Amen Athar. Ryan John Baker, magna cum laude. Sydney Lynn Baker. Allison Yvette Batten. Beverly May Juanita Barnett, summa cum laude. Nina Berhanu. Rimmel Rehan Butt. Estefania Castro. Danielle Nicole Clements. Erin Elizabeth Courier. Jamaica Elijah Habla David, cum laude. Jacob William Everhart. Odalis Rochelle Escobar Duarte. Logan Kai Forsyth. Milan Zuria Ginyard. Omotola Adebisi Suliodu. Kenitha M. Griffin. Virginia Catherine Grimm. Daniela Ilana Gutman, cum laude. Sky Hamilton. Jada Michelle Hawkins. Demi Beth Higdon, magna cum laude. Tammy Hong, cum laude. Sophia Abigail Hunter, cum laude. Amal Mariam Imtiaz, cum laude. Bria Ingram. Sophia Jafari, magna cum laude. Maya Ray Jones. Renee N. Kamya. Eden Brooke Kennedy, cum laude. Ludivine Ngembo Kom Leopoi. Alexander Isaac Levy. Nancy M. Lopez Chavez. Remna Antoinette Mbunda, magna cum laude. Tuesday McDonald, magna cum laude. Valerie Mulqueen. Tasnia Parveen Mutalib. Gail Newman, cum laude. Kane Charmaine Noel. Chiamaka Adase Nwankwo. Ehinomen Osunbor. Nina Eden Polivala. Anastasia Quinn Pelovitz, cum laude. Obed Pianim. Malika Iqbal. Akash Belur Prasad. Clara Denise Strines, summa cum laude. Aaron Andrew Tatey. Maria Alexandra Kino. Ali Rafati, cum laude. Glenda Fernanda Ramos. Brooke Rathel, cum laude. Leviathan Reese, summa cum laude. Tasneem Ahmed Riswan. Catherine Salamaran. Ha Yoon Ro. Evan Michael Savarino. Drudy P. Sheth, magna cum laude. Faria Hawa Sirhandi. Bo Ansong, magna cum laude. Lacey Lee Slacum. Aliyah Maria Sheikh Stewart. Alex Stewart. Amna Syed. Sanya Noemi Urbano Aguilar, magna cum laude. Samin Uruj. Paige Renee Warren, cum laude. Vance Anthony Wild. Brianna Wright. Madeline Page Yell, magna cum laude. Laura Maricela Medina. We now present the graduates in Sociology, Anthropology, and Public Health. Beitel Adis. Kwame Adu Nsafoa. Bethel Y. Amara. Micaiah Blue. Tatiana Briscoe. Tyler Lam Chan. Mam Khuja J. Kausi Sochukwu Ekpelamaka Di Ibor. Ebubachuku C. Emalife. Vanessa Ennen, cum laude. Yuxin Gao. Addie Hattie Gray Johnson. Micaiah Siobhan Hillman. Michaela Alexis Demoria Jefferson. Sebastian Joseph, cum laude. Kethia Chabu Kalaki. Anari Simone King. Tatiana Sierra Merchant. Brianna Nguyen. Jaylene Ya Ajubi Nkansa. Chidenma Judith Osuwala. Rachel Jihan Park, cum laude. Isabella Perna, summa cum laude. Crystal Mirakua Prempe, summa cum laude. Leslie Jasmine Kishpi Romero. Nor W. Shawkett. Caitlin Kimberly Thrush, cum laude. Sincere Kone Turner. Myra Usman, magna cum laude. Jordan Thomas Wesley. Joanne Wong. We now present the graduates in theater. Latrell Prince James. Kiara Matos, magna cum laude. We now present the graduates in visual arts. Rowan Eisenman Barr, summa cum laude. Carson James Becker, cum laude. Jacob Evan Tuning, magna cum laude. Alyssa Sage Conover. Na Hugh Wynn. Justin Gaylord, cum laude. Kiernan Rex Harden. Kevin C. Hentley. Augustus Huey, summa cum laude. Eurice Victoria Lee. Autumn Lawrence, cum laude. Marquise Bryant Miller. Micah Yi N. Mountfort, magna cum laude. Brittany Amarachi Nwamara. Kelly Bautram Wynn. Molly Ann Pruitt, magna cum laude. Trent Alexander Uhas.
I now call upon Shelley Wiekelt, Associate Dean and Chair of the School of Social Work.
President Cheers Ashby and Provost Van Dolman, I have the honor of welcoming the compassionate and courageous students from the School of Social Work who have completed all requirements for the degree of Bachelor of Arts.
Bachelor's candidates in the School of Social Work. We now present the graduates in social work. Demarcus Barnett. Rebecca Bradley. Zoe Mutombo. Marcus Allen Bullock Roberts. Lorna Kwisu Sepowa Basole. Mary Allison Wheelock.
I now call upon Dana Burr-Bradley, Dean of the Erickson School of Aging Studies.
President Cheers Ashby, Provost Van Dolman, I have the honor of welcoming the aspirational, accomplished, and age-friendly students from the Erickson School of Aging Studies who have completed all requirements for the degree of Bachelor's of Arts.
Bachelor's candidates in the Erickson School of Aging Studies. We now present the graduates in Management of Aging Services. Ramsha Mahmood Khan, summa cum laude. Cynthia Marie Smith.
I told you he was going to see me on stage.
I now call upon Bill Akors, Dean of the College of Natural and Mathematical Sciences.
President Shears Ashby, Provost Van Dulman, I have the honor of welcoming the accomplished and remarkable students from the College of Natural and Mathematical Sciences who have completed all requirements for the degree of Bachelor of Science and Bachelor's of Arts.
Bachelor's candidates in the College of Natural and Mathematical Sciences. We now present the graduates in Biological Sciences. Michael Twinomujuni Agaba. Aya Mohammed Ahmed. Tolulope Ruben Ajibade, cum laude. James Michael Anderson, summa cum laude. Iona Siobhan Austin. Diahara Balo. Larabe Bano. Maham Batul. Rafe Hugo Beckert, cum laude. Seth Gabriel Blackman. Nadja Jasmine Blotner. Emma Alexandra Byers. Abigail Susan Carrigan. Tatum Elizabeth Cecil, magna cum laude. Priscilla Chang, magna cum laude. Arya Janak Chaudhry. Kina Chen. Temidayo Oluwatobi Daniyan. Isabella Ray Dolan. Nahed Ashraf Elfiki. Wendy Agbor Ndip. Hana Saeed El Tantavi. Lauren Blair Forsyth. Alexis Gant. Victoria Chelsea Gomes. Eli C. Gooding, cum laude. Lily Maya Handwerger, cum laude. Ashkan Salm Hazrati, summa cum laude. Ava Victoria Henriksen. Christian J. Henry, magna cum laude. Melina Hestness. Sahidat Olabisi Odetayo, cum laude. Cameron John Hindle. Jacob Ryan Hornberger, cum laude. Tahsin Hossein, summa cum laude. Aditya Iyer, summa cum laude. Jane Frances Jackson. Andre Jabour. Magnum Mahiro Jones. Varisha Bibi Khan. Hyunjun Kim, cum laude. Xavier Michael King. Kevin Edem Kuma. Betty Lisa Kie. Sasha Diana Laredo. Bonnie Rose Levesque. Brandy Chen Lee. Catalina Andrea Madariaga Pena. Dania Mahmood. Yashitha Yarubandi, magna cum laude. Aya Malinovsky. Riley Elizabeth Mock. Cindy R. Menendez Chavez. Advaitha Midde, magna cum laude. Jabariya Mustasan, cum laude. Benjamin Lake Meyer. Malizi and for Yo Yong, cum laude. Sophia Armin Nawaz, magna cum laude. Mathieu Janiel. Nicholas Din Nguyen, magna cum laude. Nakfong Han Nguyen, magna cum laude. Taylin Norfolk. Emmanuel Akindele Omole, magna cum laude. Osezenoria Emmanuel Oniha. Brandon Olisealoka Onochi. Alexis Afia Osu Ando, cum laude. Paul Bikabai Patel. Krisha Vijay Patel, summa cum laude. Tithi Shaileshbai Prajapati, summa cum laude. Carl Kevin Quist Thurston. Samantha Mora Rodriguez. Stephanie Graciela Rodriguez. Valentina Rodriguez Alfonso. David Mayer Shaker, magna cum laude. Chanel Grace Sibley's. Anthony Smith. Sanjana C. Srimath, magna cum laude. Amira Lee Reinard Stock, cum laude. Monet Sutawirisan, cum laude. Ibrahim Khalilullah Thangalvadi. Gabriel J. Vaughn. Amanda Wandvosen. Rubel Dawit Yemen. We now present the graduates in Translational Life Science Technology. Abdelmanim M. Abdelmanim. Jason Bose. Shemia Patricia Gomez. Matthias Lucas Medina, cum laude. We now present the graduates in Biochemistry and Molecular Biology. Kesla Ngunje Inao. Agnes Kudali, magna cum laude. Meisha Shahjahan, summa cum laude. Nadia Gabor Shalabi. Nabonil Sil Upadhyay. We now present the graduates in Chemistry and Biochemistry. Diana Valerienne. We now present the graduates in Mathematics and Statistics. Prakash Balasubramanian. Henry Matthew Berger, magna cum laude. Jamar M. Dudley. Levi Shalene George. Tanay Adarsh Jagi. Michaela Kate Kasparkova, magna cum laude. Angelina Lucero Loaiza. Jamie Lee Mamana, cum laude. Chukwudera Odechima Mba. Owen Henry McMahon, summa cum laude. Joshua Allen Strohmeyer, magna cum laude. We now present the graduates in Physics. Ellis Lefko. Azan Sylvester Porter.
I now call upon Jean Van Briesen, Dean of the College of Engineering and Information Technology.
President Shears Ashby and Provost Van Dolman, I have the honor of welcoming the resilient and determined students from the College of Engineering and Information Technology who have completed all requirements for the degrees of Bachelor of Arts and Bachelors of Science.
Bachelor's candidates in the College of Engineering and Information Technology. We now present the graduates in Chemical, Biochemical, and Environmental Engineering. Tarek Sarmad Al-Khatib. Nathan Christopher Gull, cum laude. Nohit Dev Gunduboyna. Suprem Sudham Saka. Warren Teven Tayo Ngalemo. Samuel Kidane Tekla Haimanot. We now present the graduates in Computer Science and Electrical Engineering. Adam Redwan Abadiga. Dua Abdullah, cum laude. Daniel Jason Anapolsky, magna cum laude. Faizan Ahmad Ansari. Matthew Bainbridge. Adam Ryan Baji, cum laude. Boyd Manasa Banda. Jossie Batiso. Yefet Teshome Bidaso. Chance Blaine Bell. Jaden A. Burnett. Kimberly Christina Calderon. Caleb Callahan. Joseph P. Charles, summa cum laude. Vinay S. Chinadorai. Muhammad Abdullah Chaudhry, cum laude. Kevin Edward Colas, cum laude. Darian Kane Corcadell. Alexander Johnson Cragg. Saroz Podell. Toshio Rafael Crosita. Christopher Thomas DeBoy. Jeremy R. Dickinson, cum laude. Jade Dorsainville. Chris David Jean Guy Dallo, magna cum laude. Jervon Osmond Drakes, cum laude. Robert Evans Fleischman. Ryan Frank. Harry Jacob Goldstein. Laura Greenevic. Kia Weha, magna cum laude. Lillian Grace Hagan. Tobias Sedro Hazume. Kiara Raven Huey. Andrew Hess, cum laude. Christopher Chance Humbert. Edward Alexander Hurtado. Omar Jaite, cum laude. Moksh Jain, magna cum laude. Sorme Jaribian. Mariel Jong, cum laude. Raul Manuel Jorin Garcia. Isa Kabara. Faith Kalendek. Olivia L. Kaniecki. Jeremy Karlowitz. Ashraf Kiwanuka Kawuya. Justin Kyungwon Kim. Kevin Kisembo. Parker Stephen Kopp. Jakob Kutolek, cum laude. Matthew Kaczynski, magna cum laude. Asit Das. Rajan Kuwar, magna cum laude. Ethan Joseph Lackner. Lisa Lynn, cum laude. Theodore Stephen Lostowski. Wojciech Jacek Lubkowski, magna cum laude. Sonu Mahat. Michael A. Marty. Sai Krishna Matukumali. Cooper Nicholas Meekins, magna cum laude. Abidara Mesfin. Brian No Chang.
Brian.
Nihal Himanshu Patel. Nabin Paudel, summa cum laude. Nicholas S. Poulos, magna cum laude. Luis Adrian Puga. Seth Thomas Ramsland. Madeline Victoria Rippon, summa cum laude. Olukayode Victor Osunji. Akila Ralph, magna cum laude. Michael Adrian Rohde, summa cum laude. Braden F. Rosling. Naomi Sarika Sampson. Nitish Sharma Gimire. Jackson Campbell Schneider, summa cum laude. Nishant Kiran Yudister Singh. Louis Slevotinek, summa cum laude. Miles Afton Smith. Tiffany Spencer, magna cum laude. Emily Stillwell. Abdullah Sufyan. Jonas T. Tadesi. Nishchay Tamrakar. Karma T. Tobden. Paul George Trentalance. Alec William Trotman. Ejiro Adams Ubini. Scott Mitchell Warren. Jake A. Witt, summa cum laude. Benjamin William Whitehurst, magna cum laude. Brandon Wu Shu, summa cum laude. Raymond D. Ziglis, magna cum laude. Sultana K. Abdul Karim. Grace E. An. Veronica Giselle Amaya. Alina Munira Ashraf. Mahira Asin. Bethlehem Getachew Akalu, magna cum laude. Bemisola Sarah Akinjo. Kevin Nana Apia Parry. Adiyinka Awokoya. Oluwatobi Awatona. Timitayo Nehemiah Ayokunli. Oritimisan Pearl Ayomiki, cum laude. Ayman Babar, magna cum laude. Fatou Diouf Baldi, cum laude. Marisha Wela Ikalina Banga, magna cum laude. Joshua Bala Bangura. Ismail Barry. Andrew Michael Beal. Alexandra Carmen Balejo, cum laude. Akram Hossein Bhuyan. David Reeves Bracken. Ben Q. Castellano. Devin Coleman. Casiel Serena Santa Maria Corden, cum laude. Gershom Akim Albert III. Curtis Kwaku Danki. Jean-Claude Dinda. Isabel Dowell. Maruk Ijaz, cum laude. Nimra Ejaz. Abraham Mastawal Ejigu. Valerie Emercy Estibiro. Mercy D. Felice. Eugene M. Ferguson. Diamond Marie Fletcher. Eli Koku Gaffrey. Jason Gao. Bria Janae Gibson. Charles R. Gomez. Colin Bentley Gorman. Carlos Angelo Racelis Guino. Robel Abebe Fantahun. Israel Ifeo Lua Palumi Funmalayo. Ezekiel Berhane Girmay. Petros Biniam Gebrevol. Sem Yosef Gebru. Obina Okechukwu Elemuo, cum laude. Miles J. Garner. William Bowman. Michael Chi-Ming He. Christopher Thomas Heller. Iman O. Hussein, cum laude. Saraf Islam, magna cum laude. Daniel James. Anish Kandel. Sikandar Khan. Elnathan Tiwodros Kifle. Sekou Kouyaté. Sahil Mohammed, magna cum laude. Andrew Michael Moon. Janet Oluwashola Morikinyo, cum laude. Kirsten Afia Myers. Rokibat Olabisi Adepoju. Abel Asamenu Negatu, magna cum laude. Dale Conrad Neumeister, magna cum laude. Dustin Viet Wynn. Elaine E. Hua Wynn, summa cum laude. Dylan Nan. Alexander Okropiridze. Christian Javier Ordonez. Emmanuel Oyeyemi, cum laude. Garrett Thomas Palmer. Vida Peter. Sachin N. Patak, magna cum laude. Rodney Lawrence Olid. Fiza Salim, cum laude. Saugat Mishra. Lysander Perez Marantal Jr. Martins Ajibola Osunuga. Justin Namdi Onyenyo, cum laude. Carl Emmanuel Quist. Jose Cuemen Elijah Oniha. Timothy Kamba. Jaleel Lorenzo Niles. Vin Win. Abel McConan. Nicole Agu. O'Brien Shawane Miller. Catherine Alessandra Morales. Latasha Nicole Murchison. Gasper Rugambwa Mula Mula. Lisa Suraya Mutetsende Mupende, cum laude. Brian J. Park, cum laude. Lydia Sue Park. Talia A. Parchment. Courtney Elizabeth Pelkey. Jagamohan Pani. Oscar Nehemias Ramirez. Tahrim Faisal Rana. Sean Varun Rao. Jenna Adam Rashid. Jacob Rago. Rachel L. Rivera. Edwin Omar Rivera Lozano. Ansel Robin. Janice Veronica Roderick. Kairav Roy, cum laude. Gabrielle Victoria Settles. Wayne Douglas Shiflett. Syed Salman Shah. Daniel Silva. Kartikay Singh. John Spence. Julie N. Sturba, magna cum laude. Sharmila Koirala Lamichani. Austin Swartz, cum laude. Tan Lekong Ta. Danielle Mehdi Tahiri. Natalie Jasmine Tario. Alexander Russell Taylor, cum laude. Leon Leong Tang, magna cum laude. Nafisa Tabassum Tayas. Tolulope Telly. Ui Chai. Arifa A. Udin. Zara Udin, cum laude. Taki Udin Usman, cum laude. Kevin D. Van. Andrew Robert Vige, summa cum laude. Miles L. Wade. Miles Alexander Wallace. Jason Charles Wilkinson, magna cum laude. Thomas James Williams, cum laude. Brendan Sean Ward. William Wynn. James Milton Woody. Muhammad Aliyan Zahid. Yabin Zehra Zaidi. Sayyidul Abrar Zakir. Ruby Jang. Raihan Nurul Bhai Vahora, cum laude. We now present the graduates in mechanical engineering. Everardo Gabriel Aguilera, magna cum laude. Abdul Jabbar Azam Ahmad, magna cum laude. Oluwamayowa Ajimatan Roreje. Hashim Mohamed Alatas. Alexei Jacob Barankin. Janelle Trias de Guzman, magna cum laude. Sobechukwu Ebubechukwu D. Ibor, magna cum laude. Andrew Joseph Dickerson. David Myron Deal. Paul Whittier Dillingham. Alexander B. Dorsey, magna cum laude. Gregory Joseph Hysoon. Alan Joseph Istis. Kurt Earl Jensen, cum laude. Tiana Eliana Ashley Joseph, cum laude. Christopher Riley Kelly, magna cum laude. Alan Alex Koshi. Daniel Lundy. Noah John Manisterly, magna cum laude. Timothy Maurice Morgan, magna cum laude. Talal Nadim. Leonel Eduardo Paz. Auntie Lay, cum laude. Heather Ariadne Pubil. Cole Allen Reed. Noah B. Rogofsky. Hannah Margaret Sierra. Brandon Steele Spillis, cum laude. Stephanus Oluwadamalare Stephen. Sergio Vacaflor. Ian Charles Thomas Watson. Thomas Rowe.
I now call upon Carlos Jensen, Vice Provost for Student Success and Dean for the Division of Undergraduate Academic Affairs.
President Shears Ashby, Provost Van Dolman, it is my honor to welcome the passionate and innovative students of the Division of Undergraduate Academic Affairs who have completed all requirements for the degrees of Bachelor of Science and Bachelor of Arts.
Bachelor's candidates in the Division of Undergraduate Academic Affairs. We now present the graduates in individualized study. Thalia Belinda Buenconsejo Añora. Samantha Drummond. John Alexander Jeffries, cum laude. Kayla Elizabeth MacPhail. Akil Pandya.
Let's give all of our graduates a round of applause. Congratulations again to each one of our graduates. We are so very proud of you. And now, graduates, I will ask you to please stand. Now I invite you to participate in a wonderful tradition to symbolize your accomplishments. The turning of your tassels from right to left. Please do so. Congratulations. Now please join me in welcoming the UMBC Jubilee Singers to lead us in the singing of our alma mater. The choir will be conducted by Janice Jackson, Director of the UMBC Jubilee and Gospel Choirs. After the alma mater, we ask that you remain at your seats. Our program will be concluded by our Grand Marshal, and then the platform party and students will recess. Please wait to leave until the platform party has left the floor. Please stand if you are able for the singing of our alma mater. The words can be found on the screens. I now invite the Grand Marshal, Nancy Kuzmal, to conclude our ceremony.
Will everyone kindly remain standing until the platform party has recessed? Family and friends are asked to meet the graduates outside of the arena. On behalf of the UMBC community, I wish you congratulations, everyone.